Hi, Tom. Where's Adam? Adam Strong was scared of grass until he was 4 and he got glasses. I was scared of grass too. Adam Strong is a high school digital arts teacher. Adam Strong is working on his first novel, Bella Vista. Adam Strong's work has appeared in World Magazine, Our Portland Story, Intellectual Refuge, and other places. Adam Strong has 2 children that make his jaw go funny when he sees them. Adam Strong lives and writes in Portland, Oregon. Adam Strong is a good man. This is what I added. Funny, insensitive, and a hell of a writer. There it is.
Thank you. This is another chapter from Bella Vista. The things that matter most of all, my headphones, Cost Pro 4 AA's. When I listened to music through them, they sounded like when I was a baby, a speaker coming out of mom and straight into me. I'm home alone, late afternoon, nothing time. Mom gone and dad not home for hours. I did what I did sometimes. I walked around my house, looked for things I hadn't seen yet. Things I was not supposed to touch, ever. Don't know why Dad felt so strong about normal stuff on bookshelves, full of albums, but they made Dad flip out. There was this one photo album that had these cool lines on it, red and silver all over the front and back and spine, and then a couple of photos from when I was a baby. My mom and Dad as a happy family, a version of Mom where she smiled and wore long dresses, where the light was on her and she didn't hide from it. Then there was the picture of Dad with a beer in his hand and his eyes all big and red and heavy. Dad in a wading pool. Dad in a purple shirt, big metal circle zipper, his curly afro hair reaching out to the sun, had his sunglasses on. I'm just a baby and he's holding me, the beer can is in his other hand, one of those pop-the-top kinds. I'm sitting there on his lap. In the picture, I'm so happy to have my dad holding me. I couldn't tell what his eyes were doing with his sunglasses on, but something in the way he looked down at me right then told me they weren't okay. Things weren't okay. He was lost in some thought. From what I could tell, he wasn't with me in the pool. Don't know why Dad looked that way. Maybe he made a mistake he couldn't take back. That photo of me so happy in that bright purple pool and Dad looking there all serious. Like for a second, the dirty hippie he was washed away, and what was left was the dad he is now. Another photo is with Mom, but not a mom I ever knew. She was really young, long hair, bright green pattern on her dress. She was looking at the camera in a way I hadn't seen her before. Don't know if it was Dad taking the picture or not, but she never looked at Dad that way when I was around. The photo and the yellow edges, so you knew it was very old. Bright sunlight coming in from some windows. Mom's gold blonde hair, not dirty at all. Each photo was a world I didn't know existed. The purples were brighter and the faces of the grown-ups were of people smiling, but there were so many times when their smiles looked so fake, like one of those Hollywood sets, where the front of the buildings is the Old West, but behind it there's nothing there. I must have moved on to something else after opening that photo album, because I left it right there on the kitchen table. But then I did next with what I always did when I needed someone and there was no one around. I went to my headphones, the only way I had to escape. I put those things on and listened to the only record I had, Saturday Night Fever. Had to be so careful with that record. I pulled out the record from the sleeve, my hand on the sleeve and my other hand on the record. I couldn't just put my hand anywhere on it. My thumb was on the thin edge and my middle finger was on the sticker in the center. If I touched any other part, it would skip, and I didn't know how to clean it. Went over to my turntable and lined up the hole with the metal pointy part of the record player. Then came the worst part. I had to lift up the needle onto the record. Here's where I sometimes got the timing all wrong. I put the needle down too fast and I scratched the record. And here's where I had to play it cool. As much as I wanted to hear the song, I had to pretend to be not in such a hurry. I took a deep breath, reached my hand out, the end of the arm with the needle in the cartridge, and I lifted that thing out of its home, and the record started to turn, and the pink arcade cow started going around, and that little handle on the side of the cartridge lowered it down, and the two grooves on the first track. It's gotta be track one because staying alive is track one. Track one is the most dangerous because it's the hardest groove to get that needle right down in before the start of the track at just the right speed. The needle was just above the first series of grooves on the record, and there was a crackle and a slight boom, and I got that needle right where it needed to be and no scratches. My headphones, two brown pods with a volume knob on the left phone and a tan strap to connect the two. Slip those babies on, touch the cool of the silver blue circle above it with the Cospro 488 in big letters like it was written on the side of an airplane. Plug my headphone jack right into the turntable, no speakers. My headphones were the only way I could hear Staying Alive, hear Chop Chop violins in outer space. What happened when I put that jack in and the first few notes of the song came in? All the bad stuff, the sad picture of Dad, Mom being all gone, all of it went away and I could be a kid again. I felt like I was in an airplane seat with like all the stewardesses bringing me all the soda and peanuts I wanted. We were flying around the surface of the earth and our destination was Planet Disco, a planet filled with glitter and chest hair. I was so in my head I couldn't see what was coming. So many things to do, so many ways to fuck them up, you know? And here's what I fucked up. I'd taken my photo album that was on the shelf that I was never supposed to touch. That photo album with the cool lines in red and silver all over the front and back, the spine, left it right on the kitchen table. And Dad came home, first thing he sees is that picture. And from what I know now, the full story was that moment in the pool with me. And even when he was young, even when he was the dirty hippie, he didn't feel that great. He felt the opposite way Dad is supposed to feel sitting with his son in a kiddie pool on a summer afternoon with a beer in hand. That photo and what it said to him, how even in the happiest times, Dad was miserable. I didn't know any of this back then. I was in disco heaven. I was upstairs on my bed with my head back on my pillow and my eyes were closed and those headphones, the things that mattered most of all, the Cospro double A's on my head, the way those headphones felt on my ears, the connection with music I had that was stronger than the connection I had with anyone. Mom painting me was the closest thing I had, and Mom didn't paint me anymore. Then the temperature changed. The air sucked out of the room, opened my eyes, and there was Dad. Red tie, white shirt, helmet hair, Dad. 2 fingers of his on the little space between my neck and my shoulder. 2 fingers pressed down and my whole body locked into him. His voice, that hood-range fire voice all up in front of me and all around. I told you never to touch anything on that shelf, he said. That album, that picture. You listen. You can't listen, he said. Your brain is filled with shit. And Dad took his hand and he whisked my Cos4 double A's off my ears, the feeling of them off my head, felt naked without them on, pulled out the headphone jack out of the record player, the way it felt without the things that mattered most on my head, nothing to protect my head from all the bad in the world. Dad with my Cos4 double A's in his hands. There were so many things his hands could have done. Could have taken them away until I stopped fucking up, but he didn't. Those phones in his hands, his arms up and above his shoulders and fast down on the floor. I didn't see his hands move fast. No, I saw the hold down, slow down destruction of them. My headphones were on the floor of my room, and not just on the floor. Already one of the phones was loose from the tan strap, and then Dad put his foot down. The most important thing, my Cos4 double A's, his brown penny loafer, his right one, such a dark tan shade of shoe it was almost red, that tassel up and down on top of his penny loafer, underneath the shoe, the heel, under that heel, the smashed plastic of the 2 tan foam pods, my headphone, and it sounded like Mom reaching out and holding me. I loved them so much I couldn't believe they were made out of plastic. First day I got them, I thought they'd last forever. You listen to me now, Dad says. His face. I want to say that his voice and the whole hood-range fire deal had me locked in and I was throwing up. The truth is I didn't even look up at him, not once. Just stared at the rack of the headphones under his shoe. When Dad walked out, those penny loafers, his dark pants, white shirt, how his shirt was always tucked in, even at home. His back to me, walks out. On the floor of my smashed headphones, how both pods had these deep cracks in them with chunks of wire hanging out. The speakers underneath the plastic foam, how small they were, how something so small could put out such power. And for the first time all summer, I didn't say I was sorry.